Hey everyone, it's your name. And let's face it, at some point, your computer is going to throw a tantrum. But don't smash that Add to Cart button for a new PC just yet. In this video, we're going to walk you through troubleshooting those common computer problems. We'll break it down step by step, so even if you're tech challenged, you can feel like a digital doctor by the end of this. No more staring blankly at the blue screen of death, or wondering why your browser is moving slower than a snail in a staring contest. Let's get started. Before we start ripping components out, let's play detective. First things first, what's the computer actually doing? Is it giving you the silent treatment, or is it screaming at you with the blue screen of death? Was it after you installed that new game, or did it just decide to go haywire out of the blue? Knowing when the problem started can be a huge clue. Error messages are like your computer's cryptic cries for help. Jot down what they say, or even better, take a screenshot. And finally, did you tinker with anything before the world went dark on your screen? Sometimes, the solution is as simple as undoing that last thing you did. Alright, let's start with the easy stuff. First up, the classic turn it off and on again. It sounds too simple, but you'd be surprised how many times this works. Next, let's make sure your computer isn't just thirsty for some electricity. Check those power cords, both ends. And for you laptop users, make sure that battery isn't running on fumes. Speaking of connections, let's give those cables a once-over. Make sure your monitor, keyboard, mouse, and anything else plugged in is secure. You'd be surprised how often a loose cable is the root of all evil. Let's move on to the next step. If the basic fixes didn't do the trick, it might be time to dig a little deeper into the software side of things. Ever heard of safe mode? It's like starting your computer with a bare-bones crew. Only the essentials, no fancy extras. To boot into safe mode, restart your computer and repeatedly press the F8 key, or whatever key your computer tells you to press. This can help us figure out if a program is causing the issue. Next up, let's make sure your operating system and drivers are up to date. Outdated software can lead to all sorts of conflicts and problems. While we're at it, let's give your computer a scan for those nasty viruses and malware. They can really mess things up. Run a full system scan with your antivirus software and let it do its thing. Let's see if that helps. If we're still hitting a wall, it might be time to check the hardware. Listen closely when your computer starts up. Is it beeping in a strange way? Those beeps are actually secret code for, hey, something's wrong. Check your motherboard manual to decipher those beeps. RAM, those little memory sticks, can be troublemakers. Open up your computer case, after unplugging it of course, and reseat the RAM modules. If you have multiple sticks, try testing them one at a time. Next up, the hard drive. It stores all your precious data, but it can also be the source of your woes. Run a diagnostic tool to check its health. There are built-in tools like chkdsk for Windows or Disk Utility for Mac. And finally, let's not forget about our friend Dust. It's like the silent killer of computers. Make sure your fans are spinning and that your computer isn't overheating. A can of compressed air can work wonders here. Alright, if we're still scratching our heads, it's time to get our hands dirty. If you suspect a hardware issue, try swapping out components with known good ones. Start with the easy stuff like RAM or the hard drive. If you have a spare power supply lying around, swapping that out is a good idea too. And don't forget about those diagnostic tools we talked about earlier. They can help pinpoint the culprit. Let's move on to the final steps. Okay, if all else fails, we have two last resorts: System Restore or a full system reset. System Restore is like a time machine for your computer. It can roll back your system to a previous point in time before the problem started. If that doesn't work, or if your issue started a long time ago, a system reset might be the only option. This will wipe your hard drive clean and install a fresh copy of your operating system. Make sure you back up all your important data before you nuke it from orbit. And there you have it. You made it through our crash course in computer troubleshooting. Remember, computers can be frustrating, but with a little patience and the right knowledge, you can fix most common problems yourself. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and experiment. The more you learn about your computer, the better equipped you'll be to tackle whatever tech gremlins come your way. Thanks for watching. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tech tips. And as always, stay safe out there in the digital world.